late. Sorry. I was in my sacred space meditating and finding that one of the things this year has taught so profoundly is the need to continuously adapt and adapt and adapt. And unfortunately, that's one of my strengths, is being very adaptable. Actually, it's one of those strengths that I've had to work on, of not just allowing myself to adapt to anything and everything around me, but to be a little stronger in the boundaries for myself. And then that's also been the challenge of the year, is being able to implement those boundaries and hold steady or hold strong to the prioritizing myself. I feel like that's the divine paradox of 2020. And when I say divine paradox, I really speak from this understanding that there's duality, that there's polarity, that there's opposition, love, hate, light, dark. This is one of yoga's greatest gifts to me, is understanding how we can unite that energy and find our center. So realizing I don't feel like our center or our midline ever shifts, but we have to enter from different realms and invoke or embody different energies to hold that center, to stay centered. So the divine paradox is realizing, that we all strive for balance, but balance is blasphemy, right? That's why I like to use the energy of being centered. So even in that idea of working with the cycles and the rhythm of nature, I'm coming to you live. I'm assuming this is working, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm coming to you live when the world is in a collective honoring of the end of the year. It's December 31st, 2020. And, we make such a big deal about it. And we're supposed to, especially this year, right? But there's this cycling of energy that happens every breath, with every day, with every month, with every week, with every season. And it's the permanence of the idea that all things come to an end. And so in that, we can get really sorrowful when things come to closure, when things come to an ending. We can be distraught, grieve, mourn. But it's interesting because usually this time of year, we celebrate, we ring it in, we have no issue embodying this ritual of welcoming in the new. So anytime you want to start anew and get things going, you actually invite in the energy of fire. Anytime you want to create more order, you want to have more structure, you want to get organized and create, with, like, to manifest, right? The physical world, you call on the energy of earth. Anytime you want to have new ideas or gain new perspective, to see things differently, to communicate, to network, to bring together these different modalities, you invoke the energy of air. And anytime you want to nourish, to tend to that soil, right? That energy that you brought anew, that container that you're organizing, the ideas that you fill it with, the way you nourish it and nurture it is through the energy of water. And so with that, we have this movement as we cross a threshold to integrate all this energy, to really celebrate the journey. I couldn't do the class today of the volatile vulnerability it just would make me too serious. So celebrating the journey, celebrating this time right now as I'm recording this, the moon that dances through each sign of the zodiac, through that plays with the different forms of this energy of fire, air, earth, and water, that it now sits in this transitory place between water and fire. And again, so we can reflect on what is that energy that we don't want to fixate on, but we can initiate in a way that we can awaken. And as we awaken to the innocence. We can awaken to that way of expressing ourselves. Right? Like the post I made this morning for the group was just that hot damn, like, whew, here we are. How many of us didn't think fire is about survival? How many of us didn't think we could survive the season of 2020? But here we are, and that we can be enthusiastic of our own sense of royalty, our own energy to really be a leader that recognizes that we are also being led. Okay, so the divine paradox is that remembrance, that in the contrast, in that idea that it's been intense, it's been hard, we've gone through a great bit of loss, there's also this energy of new. Okay, and that the loss creates a newness. And the only way we can begin anew is if something else falls away. And when we can start to live in that recognition, we can lean into a bigger sense of support as we navigate the challenges. The challenges don't go away. Okay, that's what Earth School is about growing, it's about expanding, it's about evolving. We're not going to have a stress-free life. We are going to learn how to engage with ourselves with a higher level of awareness and the ways that we need to take care of ourselves. Okay? So celebrating the journey is really about celebrating this bigger cycle, this bigger movement of how we take charge and bring order to the chaos, because chaos is what gives birth to newness. And as there's a lot of themes for 2021 that I don't want to step into right now. I want to use this more of a time to reflect and celebrate, because even though I'm coming to you with this idea of closing out 2021, of really not, setting it on fire, although we have fire that we can ignite to transform, of really being in this place of integrating, so that you can come back to this practice anytime you're in a place in your life that you're really crossing a threshold, and that you really want to hone into a vision of how can you ignite that crossing in a way that honors you, that honors your pain, that honors your challenge, but also invites in this bigger perspective. And as you invite in this bigger perspective, you gain ability to see from a different vantage point of how you can nurture the moment you're in, and know that in time, the fire to make a shift will show up for you. Okay? So that is the journey. The journey is through these elements. The journey is through this energy that cycles through us. And the reason why I am so connected to the heavens is because if you can find a clear night sky and you look up, the sky is my altar, and I totally believe that the energy of the heavens is the handwriting of God, all the stars, everything. So when we can tap into that divine energy, that divine love, we gain that perspective, and then we have these themes, and we can work with these basic concepts of fire, earth, air, and water, to understand what's missing, what element's missing, what's our a signature of our energy, and how do we, when we get on our mat, work with this energy in a way to embody more of who we are. And who we are is that place of going through a cycle. So we are going to start standing today. We're going to continue this practice. Please help hold me accountable, okay? I really want us to be in the ritual of the simpleness of 3 breaths. Megan Watterson shares it in her book, Mary Magdalene Revealed, which is the book that I chose to embody right now. And I'm not going to go into the story, but there's a bigger story for me in that connection to the Marys. Mary being the archetype of the divine mother, and Mary Magdalene being the divine archetype or ascended master, or however you want to say it, of that partnership with the masculine. It's just really powerful. So this 3-part meditation is a play on one that she has shared, and it's just 3-part meditation. It's 3 breaths. So pause right now and think of how easy it is for you to breathe 3 times consciously. And then we're going to go another layer of being more intentional of those 3 breaths of breathing into the body, breathing into the perspective, and breathing into the soul. So feeling this container that we experience, appreciating the ability to experience, and then really inviting in that energy of your highest, so that guidance, that wisdom of that which is greater than you, to that which there is none higher, and nutraha, that we can invite in that wisdom to lead us. So the 3 breaths are just simple. You can even think of breathing into the belly, the heart, the mind. I would actually recommend breathing, if you need the anchor, breathing in from like the hips to the earth, then breathing in from this like throat area to the heavens, and then breathing into the heart. Okay, so let's start there. Always, you hold authority. You are responsible for you. And you get to choose how you work with anything that I've offered. And you are able to respond in the highest of ways, especially when you take on practices that embody more fully. So finding your ground. We call on the highest. We draw a circle of intention around each of us in our homes, in our communities, this virtual energy. Let's hope that all works together. And we'll hold that intention of just those 3 breaths, hands to your heart. As your eyes close and you feel that breath moving into you, move into the belly, the hips, into the earth, into the container that you live in. And then exhaling out. And then breathing in to that highest energy, that intention to invoke the connection. And then breathing in to the space of the heart that we can integrate and live and be of service. And then just allow for the next few breaths to guide you of how you're doing, right? So you could do that simple 3-part meditation, 3-breath meditation, standing in line at the grocery, having a conversation with your loved one, feeling your moment of opposition with the energy that you are standing before. And it will redirect you. And so we celebrate this journey in a way that we really recognize the hardships. We honor the growth that we all have collectively been in. And we will feel it as we bend our knees, move the thighs back, hinge at your hips, fold forward, and you will feel the contraction, the limitation, the challenge right here in that first forward bend. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, bow. Bend the knees and we'll roll up. So we can honor, we call on that highest energy again, arms wide. Sweep overhead and then we return to the heart. Big full breath in. Big full breath out. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling in and then exhaling, knees bend, hips hinge. You bow to the earth. So this is a way of taking that 3-part meditation to another physical movement. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, bow. So we're still in that energy of grounding. And then we invite in, roll the spine up, arms go wide. We welcome in the higher energy from the heavens and we bring it into the heart. Pausing and breathing here. 3 is that energy of creation, sustenance, and dissolution. So we feel that power. Inhaling in. And they all happen at once. Bend the knees, hips pull back, fold forward, hands touch the earth, head relaxes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. Exhale, bow down. Bend the knees. So you're in this connection to the body, calling on the highest, welcoming it in, and then exhaling into the heart, feeling the fullness of the breath. How powerful if we began this first month, really, because as I record this, the moon is waning. So we're at these next 2 weeks, we're closing out, and there's so much I could say that we're starting the year and the energy of waning, of reflecting. So this theme is really about the reconciliation. Full breath in, and then exhale. Hands come by your sides, clasp them behind you, shoulders to your back, open the heart, full breath in, and then sweep. So free the hands, sweep the left arm up, and exhale over to the right. So we're still standing. We're standing in our light. We're invoking that energy. My elbow is bent. My palm is turned up because of the discovery I'm making of how I can heal my shoulder. And breathe into that whole side line. Just nourishing. And then exhale, circle the arm down. Clasp the hands behind you. Feel the divine paradox of the duality you feel right here, right now. And then initiate more from your center. Right? It's like a calculated risk. Full breath in. And then exhale, free the right arm. It lifts up. I'm going to bend my elbow, turn my palm up, lengthen. So there's real engagement. There's a container that we're living with. We're celebrating even just this journey of moving slowly as we invoke the ending. And then exhale, circle the arm down. Both arms are going to sweep out to the side right now. So if we were in a physical container all together, we've done this before, so I'm going to turn towards you. By the way, this is an image that's come to me for many, many years. So palms up, elbows bent, shoulders into the back. There's a connection to the midline, and we're going to do 8 breaths here. And you can breathe if you want to. I'm just going to give you guys lots today. You can breathe pelvic floor region, so the 7 chakras. Pelvic floor, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, center of the forehead, crown, and then that other 8th is my addition. And then you just exhale all the way back through, okay? We're going to do it 8 times. And you're not making anything happen, you're just connecting. You're feeling the physicality, you're starting anew. We're also releasing because we're invoking that fire. You could even say you're just calling on the 4 directions. And find the next 7 breaths on your own. Last breath, big inhale in. Bring the hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Pause and just really imagine yourself crossing the threshold of just the rest of your practice with this honor, with this recognition, this intentionality that we can celebrate that we're living, we're alive, and that we can actually celebrate that we journeyed through one of the most collectively bumpiest years that we, those of us here on earth, have ever experienced before. So feel that triumphantness that you are standing here, right now, present, breathing, connecting to both the seen and the unseen. And feel connected to one another. Anybody you love, you've practiced with. Those of us who gather in this virtual container. And those even that have gone before us and those that we have yet to encounter. Exhale out completely. Turn the palms up. Let your head bow down. You're going to open your eyes, looking into the palms of your own two hands. And then just carry that energy upward. Big inhale, arms go wide, hinge the hips, fold all the way forward. You're going to bend the knees and step back, downward dog. So finally, here we are in our body. Move your hands around, pedal your feet out, sway your hips. Just feel the intensity of standing still. And in that stillness, that you can now feel more ability to work with all that's come forward. We're going to inhale the right leg parallel, bend both knees, sweep the right leg across the midline, pull into the belly, so you're just steady, strong. There's a lot of work here. And then inhale, stretch the leg back to the midline, open the leg up high, open your hips, let it all go a little bit, but desire to be free, and then pull into the belly and make a stronger connection through that left sideline, and then exhale the foot to the earth. Bend the knees, find your center again. Return to that place that you can initiate a clear, powerful engagement that lets you be playful too. So bend both knees, left leg left, pulling into the core, and then you're going to cross the midline. Move over to the right. So keep the hips steady, shoulders steady. Just waking up into those crevices, especially if you did the class from last Tuesday. My hamstrings were so sore. And then sweep the leg to the midline, open it up, let the right side go a little bit, and then pull it back together. Big breath in, big breath out. Exhale, bring the foot to the earth, bring the knees to the earth. You're going to come onto your fingertips, toes are tucked. Stretch your hips back, full breath in, full breath out. And then inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. Open the heart, big, sweet, opening cat stretch. And then exhale, pull into the belly. Stretch the hips back, come to your fingertips. Inhale, coming up again. Opening the heart up. Obviously, if your toes can't be tucked, untuck them. And then exhale, pull into the belly. Come to your fingertips, stretching back. Just feeling connected to that midline again. Inhale, opening up. Opening the heart. Exhaling, pulling all the way back. As you pull back, you're going to sit back to your heels. Fingertips go behind you, shoulders drawn to the back. Open the heart, clear the head, neck, and shoulders. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Inhale, lift from behind the heart. Hands come to the earth. Sweep the heart through. Bend the elbows, shoulders to the back. So I'm kind of in this in-between place between Cobra or Upward Dog. If you feel like Upward Dog, go for it. If you don't, melt into Cobra. Find the connection to you. So we're going to be moving into fire later today. We get to be playful as we welcome in a new year. Lift up and back, downward dog. And invoking joy is always a really brilliant idea when you feel extra stuck. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Be really strong to that center. Bend the knee, open the hip up without losing the container this time. Inhale, square it off. Step the foot through to a lunge, heels under the knee. Pivot the left heel, right elbow to your thigh. Thighs go back, tail tucks, feet root. Stretch the left arm by your ear. Big, full breath in. Big, full breath out. Ground into the earth. Inhale, rise all the way up. Push into the ground, open through the heart, lift up, and reach back. Straighten the front leg. Feel more lift through that core line. Stretch it back. Then inhale, come through the center into triangle pose. Opening up fully. How traditional of me. Being able to honor tradition, honor the fact that I could get really extreme right now. For billions of years, the earth and the moon have been spinning in the same cycle for billions of years. So we want to honor that ritual, that tradition. And then wake up to newness. Full breath in. Shoulders to the back. Open the heart. So triangle is one of the most powerful shapes in nature. So 3 breaths here. Remember those 3 breaths? And then exhale, bend the knee, release the hand. You're going to bring your left hand down, pull into the belly. Right leg's going to go all the way up to the sky. Open it up. And then stretch the legs straight. Feel the splits. Feel that opposition and how you pull back into your center rather than just trying to stretch in 2 different directions. Exhale, bring the foot to the earth. Bring the knees to the ground. Inhale, open the heart here. Right? This is not a traditional cat pose. And then exhale, come to your fingertips, hips stretch back. Inhale, sweeping the heart forward, hands root down, heart opens up. Exhale, inner thighs are moving back, pulling into that midline. Arms are strong, inhale, sweeping through. Exhale, sweeping back. So here you are, you draw into your belly, lean back, your tail anchors, hands come back behind you, shoulders to your back. Celebrate the journey. You don't know what's going on here. Only I do. And actually only my guides do because I'm really leaning into that today. Big full breath in. And then exhale, lift from behind the heart. So there's this big energy of coming up. Hands come to the earth, right? Sweep the heart through, shoulders drawn to the back. So we're actually melting into the ground. We're melting into the heart. We're melting into that container, allowing the dissolve. So that we can feel the connection, the cultivation, and begin again. Draw through the belly, lift up and back, downward dog. Breathe into it, reclaim your ability to respond with a connection to your truth, to the spark of your heart, your highest self. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knee, open it up without losing it. So feel the connection, feel the opposition working to create the transformation. And then straighten the leg fully, big full stretch and exhale. Step it through to a lunge, lightly if you can, not heavy like me. Pivot the back heel, elbow to the thigh. So you're here, you're grounded, thighs are back, you're getting that connection, then you're pulling in, stretch the arm by your ear. Shoulders to your back. Extend through the sides of the body, through the roof of the mouth. Deep, full breath in, and a deep, full breath out. Inhale, come up, reverse, warrior 2. Feel that ability to open up more fully, and in that fullness, the connection to you, straighten the front leg. Feel the great container and strength. Then stretch long, hand to the earth, arm to the sky. Deep, gracious breath in, and a gracious breath out. Then once you find that you're present to the form, then you can breathe into those aspects of you. And then exhale, hand to the earth, spin the back heel up. Here we go. Push the foot into the earth, lift the leg to the sky,
And then ground both feet. Feel the connection again. Knees to the earth. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, so you come onto your fingertips to wake up the undersides of the arms. Hips sweep back. Inhale, ground the hands. Open the heart. Exhale. Lift through the belly, stretch through the hips. Inhale once more, opening through the heart. Exhaling, moving back, pulling into the belly, and then roll the spine up. Hands come back behind you, shoulders come into the back. So there's this continuation, even though it's a big shift. Heart's open, big full breath in. And then lift, so you're pushing into the earth. You're lifting from the fire of the heart. Hands come before you. Spread through the fingers, hips melt, shoulders drawn to the back. Open the heart, cobra or upward dog. Deep, full breath in and a full breath out. Then draw through the core, move it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip up. Full breath in, full breath out. This time, come back through the center. Knee's gonna come to the heart. Stretch the right foot up by the left hand, pivot the left heel to the ground, and then you can bend your knees here, connect more fully, and then stretch the arm long. Deep, full breath in, full breath out. Exhale the hands to the earth, stretch the leg all the way up, and then step the foot through to a lunge, lean into the left hand, twist towards your front leg. Deep, full breath in. Exhale the hands to the earth. Shorten the stance, ground the heel. And as you ground the heel, intense leg stretch. Feel the connection, the container, level out the pelvis. And then 3 breaths here. As you exhale, lunge forward, shift the weight forward. Left leg's gonna lift. We're gonna do 3 curtsies. So bend the knees, draw that right leg, left leg across. Inhale, stretch the leg up. Exhale, pulling into the belly, curtsying down. Inhale, stretch through. Exhale, 3rd time, bring the knee in. Inhale, stretch the leg up. Foot's gonna go back, lift up, right leg goes to the sky, and then bring the feet to the ground, find your alignment, your position, shift things, because that's what we do is we celebrate the journey. We don't stay stuck in our ways. We maintain the boundaries, and we make ourselves a priority. Coming forward into plank, knees come down, hips melt, shoulders come into the back, and then if you like, upward dog or mountain to cobra. Full breath in. Full breath out, move it all the way back, downward dog. So yes, we're invoking fire today because we need it. We need to create the fire, the inner heat, the tapas, the discipline to create the shift. Bend the knee, open the hip up. Inhale, bring the knee to your heart. Look at your hand. Where are you going? Go from that intention. Left foot to the right hand. Pivot the right heel down. Draw in and extend. Full breath in and a full breath out. Then the hand comes to the earth. Left leg goes to the sky. And then exhale, step the left foot through. Draw in, open, and extend. I think we took the arm by the ear, right? And as you extend, feel the connection, the container. Hold steady to you. And then exhale the hand down. Spin the back heel up, shorten the stance, ground the feet. So as you're here, in this movement, in this activating, what we'll do is we'll get kind of caught up in the effect, and we'll forget to pull back in. So adjust, ground to the foot. Don't just drop in to the sensation, but rather use this practice that we learn in yoga to refine so we can improve the relationship with ourselves and one another. And breathing. Those 3 breaths. The body, the highest. And really it's about coming into the heart to integrate the vision, the wisdom of your soul. And then exhale, lunge forward, hands walk forward. Right leg lifts, it's pulling to the midline, right? Not across the midline, right into the center. 3 curtsies, bow into the ear, knee bends. Offer the reverence for all that's shown up this year. Pull into the center, lift into your core. Take a bow to your own ability to be resilient, to persevere, to rise up again. Cross. I think that's 2. I can't remember. So one more time. Because when in doubt, just go forward again. Stretch the leg back. Foot comes back. Left leg reaches all the way back up to the sky. Just to clear it out, stretch it out. Both feet to the earth. Inhale, plank. Heart moves through. Shoulders drawn to the back. Feel that opening and that connection. And then pull up and back. Downward dog. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Bend the knee. Open up. If you want to go to wild thing, go for wild thing. If you just want to pivot to the pinky toe side of the foot and be playful, do what comes for you. Really just drop in. I'm giving you ideas. If you're doing this with me, and you've done yoga before. And then bring the right hand back to the earth, right leg back to the sky. Step the foot through to a lunge. Back knee's going to come to the earth. Hug into that center. Come up through that midline. So we're on the ground intentionally. I really hope this is still working. My battery's dying, and it's telling me that. So pull into the center. We could play on that in so many ways, by the way. Your battery is not dying, but when you do feel you're dying, you have to pull back and plug in. So pull into that center, shoulders come into the back body. Get connected to the core. You're going to clasp your hands. Open the heart up. Big, gracious breath in. So here we are. We're saying a prayer. Please, oh, please bring. What is it that you want to bring? What is it, the vision? What can you imagine? The feeling of integrating what's to come, right? We can't skip over what was. We have to integrate what we've learned into what's going to arrive. And then free your arms, shoulders to your back. Big inhale, arms sweep up. Left elbow to the right knee. Lift into the core. Open through the heart. You can stay in this low lunge, or you can inhale the back knee up. Coming into that revolved side angle pose. Inhale, come back through the center. And exhale, hands to the earth. Shorten the stance. Ground into the foundation of you in this moment. Not what you think your practice is supposed to be, but be real with yourself here. And then thighs pull back, shoulders drawn to the back, revolve triangle pose. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Deep, full breath in, and a deep, full breath out. And then exhale, hand to the earth, bend the knee. You're going to glide that left knee in. Lean over into the left hip. Right hand comes to the earth. Left arm lifts up high. I'm going to give you a choice. Come into a twist or come into a forward bend where you stack the knees, lift up and bow. Wherever you go, those 3 breaths. Body, spirit, life. Exhale all the way up, ground into the earth. Inhale, come up. We're going to take that top right leg, sweep it back behind us. Ground into the earth. Lift the left knee up. Move it back. left leg goes to the sky. Big deep breath in. If you want to flip your dog, go for it. If you need to bring your foot to the earth and find more solid ground, take the time to connect back and stay in alignment with what's going on. So you can flip your dog, or I just played with the side plank. Do what feels good to you. That's what's fun about diversity, is that we have different ways to express. When we get stuck in the same way, we close ourselves off to the divine, to the greater rhythm of the world. Bring your left hand to the earth. Step the left leg through to a lunge. Right knee comes to the ground, so low lunge. Pull into that center, draw into the core. Feel that container of what are you rising into. And rise in with the clarity that you're welcoming in, right? That we're receptive. We're not just taking, we're receiving, so that we have more to give, more of our own light to shine forward. And then you're gonna free your hands, palms turn up, sweep them so you feel the length. Palms come together, right elbow, left knee. Pull into that center, draw into the core, shoulders come into the back. So twists are a chance to evolve. They're a chance to resolve. And really, I feel like that's what the theme of what's coming forward is, to resolve to what is, and to feel a stronger relationship with inviting our sense of spirit, our values, our innate worth into our everyday practice of life, which, by the way, is way harder than going from a low lunge to a high lunge. So stay to the earth, or pull in and draw in. Stay with your breath, that connection to your truth, and trust in it. Inhale, come back to the center. Deep breath in. Hands come to the earth, back stance. You make your foundation shorter, smaller, so that you can actually refine. And then you can ground into the energy of what is. Feel the connection, and then twist. And in that twist, feeling that openness, so hard for my shoulder to move up this way. So feel that openness into your revolved triangle. Because I'll tell you right now, the lower half of me loves doing this pose. It's my left shoulder that doesn't like it. And 18 years ago, that was a whole different story. Big deep breath in, and then exhale. Hand comes to the earth. Bend the knee, you're gonna glide. Right, so we've had what we're doing right now. Do you guys see it? We're integrating what we've gained in the journey so far. What have we opened ourselves up to? The whole flow is this integration of the dance of our own relationship. So left hand can come down, right arm can go up. Check in with that highest. Invite it in to help you choose. So you're either gonna go into the twist or stack the knees and bow. And then 3 breaths. Exhale out completely. Push into the earth wherever you are. Inhale, come out of that expression. Leg's gonna reach back. Left leg goes back. Right hand comes down. You spin the heel out, find both feet. Right leg lifts up and is set free. Both feet come to the earth. Ground in, deep full breath in. And a deep full breath out. Come forward into a plank pose, chaturanga, slowly. Melt into the ground. Pillow the hands and bow into the energy of the earth. And after those 3 breaths, bend both knees. Hands reach for your feet. If you don't want to do Dhanurasana, you can also do Shalabhasana, right? Find the feet. Feel the downward facing wheel, the downward facing bow. Hug in towards the midline, draw into the core, and lift from your inner light. Lift from that wisdom that you're integrating into. Resolving into what the body's giving you, and then realigning with that energy of refinement. And celebrate the journey. There's always wisdom for us. Free the feet, melt back to the earth, hands under your shoulders, cobra or upward dog. It's our last one. Feel that opening, and then exhale. You're gonna come all the way seated, however you wanna get there. And as you come to that seat, you're gonna bend both knees, hands to your shins. Lengthen this one. So if you'd rather do this with your feet together, knees open, go for it. Otherwise, this will be more internally rotated. Wherever you are, find the length. You're gonna bring your thumbs together. So if you're here, your hands are gonna be in front of your heart, thumbs together. If you're here, your hands are in front of your heart, your thumbs are together. You just have a support system. And we all need the system of support in such a major way. We just have to find new ways to connect to that support, which clearly has been the theme of this past year, is we are blazing into a new path. So if you're about to go on a new adventure, and so what do you do when you hit turbulence? What do you do when you run out of service? What do? You pull back and you breathe. You might panic, you might go into crisis, and the crisis is what kind of is the chaos that allows us to grow and create. As one of the people who has been a major source of inspiration for me this year, Anne Ortley, says we are going to give birth to the Renaissance. 3 breaths here if you haven't already begun. And to the physical container, appreciating not just you, but the container of the year, the container of the journey, the process. And then calling on the highest with intention. And then welcoming that into the integration of you, body, mind, spirit, soul, psyche, all of it. And then you're gonna fold forward. Soles of the feet together, bowing forward, or a straight-legged forward bend. And just 3 breaths here, just allowing your body to be and breathe and release. Bowing in with great reverence, honor, respect. Exhale out completely, lengthen the spine, shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale, come up. You're gonna move your hips forward enough so you can come lying down. Once you come down, draw the knees into your chest. So you can do happy baby, of course. You're always invited to do what serves you. But if you can, just be in a really gentle embrace with yourself. That you can rock from side to side, that your head, everything kind of feels heavy and this is hard, but there's also a lightness, right? This is the opposition. We want to feel the grounded energy of our highest self. It's something I like to say. I got to work with 2 people last year privately, and the energy was ground your light, elevate your life. And that's, who knew that that's what we were really going to put to the test, is how do we stay grounded in our truth and still rise up? So just breathing, just letting the system settle, feeling the ground. And you're going to bring your feet to the earth. Feet go wide, knees come together. One hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, or both hands to the heart, or both hands to the belly, or both hands behind your head. So there is the 3-part breath. You're going to breathe into the belly, the mid part of the lungs, and then the upper throat. And then exhale, upper throat, mid, empty out the belly. Go for it 3 times. Maybe you're just staying in that mental space of connecting, appreciating, inviting, and integrating. Breathing new life in as we really close out our practice. That's the duality, is that new things are beginning when other things are dying. It's just usually what we see is the energy that's fallen away because we don't know what's to come. We're afraid, we're fearful, we're uncertain. And what's falling away is something that we've loved. It's something that brought the love of our heart to life. Maybe it wasn't pretty, but it was profound. And then allow your breath to just return to its natural flow. Come to the earth. Add any extra adornments to support you. And be with yourself, your light, your journey, even just the journey of being on your mat. And the traditional practice of yoga with the modern application of embodiment. Breathe into the newness of the moment. Breathe into the moment that we're in, right here, right now, that threshold. Breathe into the recognition that we will carry the wisdom, the energetic wisdom from our experience forward with us. Honor your ability to respond to the need to shift. And then choose intently, mindfully, consciously of what energy you'll bring with you. As you extend it through your hands and your feet and sway your head. Bend your knees, stretch your arms long, feet on the ground, so that you can feel this connection of remaining present to the presence of your divine nature, your highest self. Roll to one side. Stay there for as long as you like. And then eventually come up seated. Come into that seat where you can sit well. You can sit in your light. You can feel, here we are again, embracing and embodying in this whole cycle, this journey that we take every time we're on the mat, the beginning, the middle, the end, and that we recognize the light of where we've come from, of what we're stepping into, how we're integrating it all. That's why I always say invite everything into your practice, because when we leave certain things out, they're just awaiting us. And they await us with more conviction and more power because it feels separated. So we really feel the integration of all as we sit here, hands to heart center, long in our spine, awaken in our soul, embracing our light, to stand fully in our truth, to live authentically from our efforts of aligning with great awareness, and we act from a place of an acknowledgement of this journey and the cycles in which we live. 3 breaths here. Appreciating, acknowledging, and integrating. And then allow your head to bow down. Allow the palms to turn upward. Open your eyes and gently receive your own light and let it reflect out into the world. Palms come together, that we can say hello with the awareness and acknowledgement of our own light, that we can say and welcome in the new with a greater sense of consciousness and connection. So from my heart to yours, namaste. May we continue to honor the light when we say hello, as well as when we say goodbye. And one time I was traveling, and it sat with me for so long. And she said, every goodbye is a little funeral, a little death. It's time to celebrate, this is my add-on, is celebrate, pause, and celebrate the love, the journey, the encounters. For they will always be with you. They will always be a part of you. Even the ones that were violently miserable. And may you feel the strength to lean into a greater support, to heal those wounds so that you can continue. This is the greatest opportunity. It is such a privilege for our souls to be in our body, to do the inner work and transform. And so when we honor the goodbyes with the energy of a little funeral, a little death, we are actually celebrating the love that was, the love that sustained to guide us through the darkest of moments, the greatest of challenges, the biggest discomfort. And I would say that the discomfort that we've been through most recently is both tangible and hard to put our fingers on. And so that is the divine paradox of what is seen and what is unseen, and how do we invite the two together to guide us as we integrate forward. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. This journey will continue in the form that it takes. I miss being in your physical energy with you, but when you show up and you let me know you're showing up and you share, whether it's a message or a comment, I get the likes. They don't really do much for it. They don't really keep me going so much, but I'll take them. I will receive any gesture you make. You Venmo me, you don't Venmo me, you invite friends, however it is. I really feel like part of the theme that needs to come forward is how do we come together and unify in these new ways. So I'll be here in the Facebook group. I will keep posting them to the YouTube the best I can. Technology is, it's a discipline I'm trying to embrace. I'll just put it that way. So from my heart to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I can celebrate that my phone didn't die. Yes. Mwah, mwah. Thank you guys. I realized I cut myself off. However you are, wherever you are, however you find this, whether it's interrupted or smooth sailing or it's way later than the moment around the time that I'm recording this, may you be well.